Mistress, or just misbehaved.
Alright, guys, so we're back for yet another amazing edition of the Misbehaved podcast. And today we're going to talk about why Miss P has quit social media.
But
A lot of
that'll
people-
come in. That'll come in. We promised you guys last episode that we
Yeah,
would
we
probably
promised you.
talk about it, but
Yeah,
we're
that's
going to
gonna
tell you
come
that it's
in.
going to be a fun
Really
story.
excited to
But
do a big shout out to this place that we're shooting at, which is the Hubb. I love the
The Hubb.
studio. I love the lighting. I love our daddy Arwen, who's sitting right across us and helping us out. And I love my girl and her little, I don't know, cap or hat or whatever you call it.
the Hubb, you guys, we're at the Hubb Creator Studios.
I love it,
space.
man. The studio, the lighting, the feeling, the daddy being present here and
Arwen's
helping us
back.
with the tech. I love it.
You know
love
what I miss?
I love
miss
your
Taz.
MILF squad. Huh?
I miss Taz.
Oh, yeah. So Taz was there as our, I don't know, like he just helps us getting high before our podcast. Literally. Right? But then, yeah, we love you, Taz. I mean, we love,
come back.
yeah, please come and hang out with us at the
Tell
Hub.
him to fucking come
It'd
back.
be so much
Want my
nicer
copy.
to have like
On my commentary.
But to all of you
10 saal purana
MILF
corona.
squad, all of you MILF squad out there, you've been supporting us. You've been liking all our pictures that we shot here at the Hub. Hub is amazing. I mean, right on top, they have a place where you can get married. And right here, they have a place where you can co-work. And then in between, they have a place where you can co-live.
You can live here also. You can do whatever the fuck you want
Yeah.
at the Hub. It's like our own little frat house minus the booze.
Yeah, you want to come into the studio and use it. If you're a creator out there, just slide into their DMs. The Hub, Bengaluru, support all sorts of talent, all kinds of people, all kinds of whack jobs like us. And that's the good bit, right?
It's an online community building platform for brands and creators to collaborate, as well as an offline community place for co-living and co-working and events and nut jobs like us.
But you know what? It's nice being a nut job because, you know, I think each of us is a nut job of our own creation.
Yeah.
And can I go straight for what we start with? Or do you have anything else to shout out to the MILF squad watching this?
We love you, Move Squad.
I love
But
you.
let's talk about, I know you've been dying to talk about it. Just bring it on. Let's
Okay,
get
I'm going to
this.
bring it on because you know what? Kim and Kanye have been our personal pet peeves throughout season 1.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, I have an obsession with Kim and Kanye. I mean, I do have
Who
an obsession
isn't?
with everybody does. And Keeping Up with the Kardashians final episode was shot. It's all done, and I mean, they all have their $1 billion.
So you know that's my
lives.
guilty pleasure show. I have watched every episode of every season.
Even if I haven't watched
ever.
it, you know, it's on IGTV, it's on Reels, it's everywhere,
Yeah,
like
you know
bits and
what's
pieces.
happening.
Of course, you know what's
We're
happening,
keeping
but
up.
she's done, and that is exactly how this episode is gonna, you know, be centered around a lot of things. Kim said she's finally done. I mean, she wants to be a lawyer. She wants to do some fun stuff with her
She's a
life.
strong woman. and
She's a strong
getting-
woman, and she's put up with Kanye's, you know, bipolar, whatever.
I think this is the first time people are not going to blame Kim for a marriage not ending.
absolutely
For a marriage ending. Sorry.
yeah.
Because when she was married to Chris Humphries, everyone was like, oh,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
did
yeah,
for
yeah.
the publicity. Who
Exactly.
gets married for 72 days? Here she was married for years.
Years, she
has
gave it
kids with
in.
him.
4 kids together. They are, I don't know what worth, like, because I don't know. I think they're $1 billion worth together or
Yeah,
separately,
no, for
whatever,
sure.
for sure, right? But the point here is that, you know, she really tried. And I think anybody who has a mental health issue and says, you know, I want to be president one day and the next day he's on his ranch living alone. I mean, but, you know, you can't blame him completely because for her 40th birthday, guess how much they spent on that 40th birthday bash of hers? Just guess. $1 million. Just for that 40th birthday bash, which is fine.
That's
I mean, you have
like
the
pocket
money.
change for them, technically.
Yeah, if somebody gave us $1 million for this podcast, I mean, imagine what we would do with that shit. I mean, 40th birthday, fuck that shit. We
You and
make
I would
40
first
seasons.
Take the money and go, and like throw it around.
Did you just say woohoo? You're getting too influenced by my
What's
woohoo.
happening to me?
Role reversal has happened, but you know, the good part is, okay, so they have lots of property together. They have 4 kids together. For her 40th birthday, he flew down and, you know, he did some hologram of her father, late father.
That
Robert
was very
Kardashian.
beautiful. You
That
can't
was
say one
beautiful.
thing. Kanye West knows how to treat his woman right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a retarded fucker because
And it's
of the
okay. I
shit
mean,
he
he's
does.
talking about his mental health issues. Everybody has
Yeah,
mental
but
health
can't say,
issues.
dude. If Kanye was my husband,
Yeah. Would
I
you
mean,
put up with it? If
at
you were
some
Kim?
point in my life, you know, I was dating someone like Kanye. He was just not a gift giver because he was broke. But
The broke ass Kanye, is it? Right. But you never know. I mean, but would you leave Kanye with all his mental issues? But then he's a creative
There's
genius.
only so much of a rope you can keep giving to someone.
And I
right?
think Kim gave enough, right?
And I think at a point when your life is so public, like
Absolutely.
for me, you know what happened to me at a point. I was publicly humiliated in a relationship that I was in.
Right.
And that got really sick. But here is a group of like 10, 20 people who are talking about it. And like his followers who are talking about it. They have a billion people that look at what they do, talk about
Absolutely. And I think that's why he's also tired of it. He's like, this
And
is
at the
an
end
OTT family, right? I
Yeah.
mean, imagine, we're going to talk about how you are done with social media in just a bit, but imagine when you have all the eyes of the world on you, there is definitely going to be speculation around whether you're together, you're not
And
together,
at the end of the
everything
day,
is...
she's human.
Yeah, she's also
hurting.
human. She is hurting. And so I don't know. I feel that in any relationship which is going to be over, I don't think you can just blame one man or one woman or whoever the two people, the two men, whatever.
It takes two hands to clap. It takes
I
two
told this
fuck
to a
it up.
friend, when she said, blah, 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 my boyfriend's this, my boyfriend's that, that's why I want to break up. I'm like, listen, fuck the boyfriend, okay? I mean, yeah, he has his issues, but what about you? You want to do your own stuff as well. And that's the same with me, right?
Yeah.
If I broke up in my relationship in the beginning, I came to you and I cried, last season saying, oh, it's all about him. But then I realized and I looked inside me. I have enough issues of my own. I mean, I have
And at the end
issues.
of the day, do you have the mental bandwidth as just an individual to
Yeah.
take on? You're dealing with your own shit. You
Yes.
know, as a person, and all of us, we're just a bag full of like,
Shit.
we're a soda bottle waiting to fucking pop.
And we're
because of the
popping every
pressure,
single day,
right? And you have the time to take on his bullshit too.
Yeah, and does he have the time to take on my bullshit?
Someone else's emotional stability is
Yeah.
not your problem.
Absolutely. You can't mother somebody else's emotional stability. But at the same time, you can't just blame one person and say one person was toxic, because I think it takes two toxic people to end a relationship. Two toxic. I mean, there are cases of domestic violence and abuse and all of that happens. But in most cases, if two hands clap, they clap. If two hands are not coming together, they don't clap. Both hands are not gravitating towards each other. So I think it's equal. So she's done, he's done, but I'd really miss them together because I think they're one of the most, I don't know, like I really like that couple.
I loved them. I think as a couple, I think they were brilliant.
Yeah.
And
They
I
made
think the
some very
one
cute
thing
babies.
I will say about her also is that Kim Kardashian very publicly said, he's always had my back.
Yeah,
And he has.
he has.
I mean, at the end of it, fucking shout out to Chris Jong-un, but he did have her back. He's had her back from day one.
Chris
she said,
Jong-un is just
because she said, like, and at the end of the day,
Yeah.
she said also very publicly on an interview when everyone went to Kanye and said, you cannot marry a girl in a sex tape with the kind of family, the dynamics, the empire, the Kardashian curse, and all of that. And he still went against it. He
He
gave
said,
her.
fuck that. I think
No,
he
he
gave
gave
her
her
a
everything.
good marriage. He gave her a house.
And
Did
I
you see
think-
the house that they live in? It's on that Vogue 73 questions or whatever.
Yeah.
That's his literal creative mastermind. It's white. It's
Yeah,
beautiful. And
it's supported a lot by Takashi Murakami.
There
who's
is a
also,
problem
like,
now.
An amazing
the
fucking
lawyer is
artist.
kind of figuring out as to who gets the house because the house is technically in his name and the kids have grown up there. So, I mean, there's a lot of financial implications if this divorce, impending divorce. But all I can say is if they sort it out maturely, because they have some really beautiful kids out there and he doesn't want his daughter to be on the cover of a magazine naked or nude. I'm talking about a young girl and he has his points. She has her points. They're not able to sort it out. He wants to live on the ranch away from the public limelight.
But
and
he's
she wants
wanting to do that for a really long time.
yeah, and I think I
anyways,
respect
right?
that, right? I respect that because that is something you want to do, right?
Yeah.
You don't always, like, we are in public jobs. You're in a marketing job. I'm in a marketing job. I mean, we're doing stuff.
We're
where
not Kim and Kanye level, but think about
At
it.
our
When
own
the
levels.
tiniest things
Yeah.
at our own levels, when they affect us,
Exactly.
we go crazy. Like, we
Yeah.
go crazy for days on an end,
Yeah.
you know?
A
that's
couple of days ago, I put something out about this podcast and somebody in my family, and I don't want to name who this is, but this directly has repercussions where it's not my direct family, but somebody who's going to get into my family. They watched some shit that I put up and then they were like, why is this girl showing this, showing that? I'm like, dude, if I want to show cleavage, I'll show cleavage. And I'm going to quote this. I'm going to say this line. It's my own line. A woman showing cleavage or not, showing legs or not, showing whatever the fuck she wants or not, does not determine if she is a loose woman or not, because it's her body, it's her prerogative. So stop fucking, looking at that person. You might have to block these family members, but yeah, I don't have to change because, somebody is not okay with who I am. I mean,
Absolutely.
don't you agree?
tear the shame.
Yeah, tear the shame. That's
I did a
nice.
really cool campaign. I don't know if you saw it.
I haven't seen it, but you told me about it. You want to tell everybody about it? It's nice. It sounds interesting.
So recently I did this campaign with a group of really, really cool people who've gone through their own struggles in life. It was called Tear the Shame, which basically talks about how you shouldn't be afraid or ashamed to be yourself. And just because society condemns you to be a certain way doesn't mean you have to be. Make your own rules. Make your own like reality of what you think would be appropriate.
I think so. I mean, I really feel so. And I think that's what, I mean, we both are very different individuals. Like, she's street, and if we had to do that, have you seen that, rappers or, ballers, you've not seen that? Okay, so it's a trend where, where two people are there and they're so different. And then there are these two different things on the top, and there's this Insta-reel thing playing in the background. If we were to do it, everything we do.
That you go this
you
or
go
that.
this way, that way.
Yeah,
We
I've
would
seen
always
that.
go, if you go this way, I go that way.
That'll be a
But
fun reel to make later.
I think we should absolutely do it, because we're as different as it gets, but that's the point, to respect one another, to not judge the other person. I mean, I really love it that you're a girl who's just so driven by what you believe in, what you're thinking, and I would totally stand for
I'm
it.
kind of happy you're rediscovering yourself in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, and
that's
I'm honest that I'm not a great person, like 100%. No, I mean, I have my own shit to deal with, and I've been dealing with a lot after my breakup, and I've been mentally in such an unstable place that I didn't even know whether I'm going to do this season of the podcast. I thought I'd settle in some other country, but
Yeah,
running
she
away,
calls me and she's like, I'm going to Dubai. I'm like, thanks
yeah, I
for
might
the
still
fucking
go to.
update. And
I might.
And she sends me a message in the middle of the night saying, I'm moving to Dubai. And then I'm trying to call her and she's not answering the phone.
Yeah.
She's messaging me. And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I did not sleep all night. Because
I
you drove
went
me
all
nuts.
Kanye on her, and I said, I want to get out of this shit. I want to get out. I want not the podcast. The podcast was one of the main reasons I stayed back. But I really want to move away from it all, because I was like, what is the point of life if I don't have what it takes to make me happy? Which is, and for me, let me
At
be
that
honest.
point, it was your relationship.
Yeah, it was my relationship. It still is. But I don't want to be that desperate to move countries just because I don't have a man I can go home to.
You know
That's the
what I
stupidest thing to
told her?
do.
I said, I remember this. I said, if you are going to run away from your problems because a guy has broken your heart, and I know it's extremely painful. If you're going to run away from your problems because some bitch boy broke your heart, or whoever,
I was also a bitch girl who broke his heart.
No,
Both
I'm not referring to Sherman as a bitch boy. I'm just saying bitch boys in general
Right.
broke your heart. Why the fuck do we do this then? What are we about? If we're running away from some boy breaking our hearts, what are we about?
Yeah.
What are we really about?
I think running away from your problems doesn't solve anything. Just because I changed the geographical location of where I live, it's still going to haunt me. So I have to deal with it. I have to sit in this place, figure it out. And now I'm in a better mind space. It takes a lot of time after a breakup. Honestly, I'm going through this. Last season, I spoke about it from theory, but it's very difficult to pick up the pieces and say, I'm going to be okay.
You'll be fine.
Thank you.
Last season, she put me on spot and she's like, you look a lot better. And I was like, damn it. No, you'll be fine. No, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But back to it, Kim was really attracted to Kanye because of the kind of man that he was. What attracts you to a man is what we need to talk about. And before we get into it, I think there are two aspects of it here, right? Is that, and remember we said this the other day, are you attracted to the real me or the digital me, right? So social media in general has set such an example for women and for men to be attracted to a certain body type or a certain structure or an angle or a fucking filter today, which is like insane. I don't get it. But what attracts you to a man? Is it his social media or is it his primitive, raw instincts?
Okay, I'm going to answer this very straight, and you're not going to like it. Nobody's going to like it, but it's the truth. And all my friends who are my, friends like family have told me this. I genuinely, and I think it had something with an article that you were reading a little earlier. I genuinely have like this real thing for super fit men. And it's like crazy. Like it's after my breakup, I've literally looked at people who are, like built of iron and I don't know what the fuck, like bodybuilding and shit like that. I don't know what it has to do with. It also has a lot to do with me going back to being healthy. So I want to live around healthy people and be around healthy people. But I don't think it's going to take me a long way, because the looks, the package, the outer thing is just going to wear off, and then you're going to see what's on the inside. And if they look great and they're not great to you and they don't treat you right and they don't spend time with you and they don't give a fuck about you, then you're fucked anyway. So I am sadly in that first bracket, but I want to move from that first bracket to primitive. What are you?
I am definitely in the second bracket. Like, I'm not into super fit men. I like men that take care of themselves, but if you're a fucking bodybuilder and you have six-pack abs, there's a good chance I'm too insecure as a person to date you because I'm not fit. And let's put
Who
that
said
out
you're
there.
not fit? I just saw you change your t-shirt. You're looking gorgeous, by the way. You
Yeah,
have
I'm
some-
looking fat.
No.
I'm very happy. I want to
You're
put on 4 more
finally-
kilos.
Yes, you're finally having some curves on, and I see some red lace inside, and I'm like, woo, girl, you go. But then I know what you mean. You don't want to date somebody just because they look good, right?
Yeah, I, for one, and I'd advise this to a lot of people, okay? And I know because we're in a world today where we don't depend on men to have their primitive instincts going on at all
Yeah.
points. But I guarantee you, you could be attracted to a man on social media who is deadlifting 100, and that's hot. You could be attracted to a man that's pouring water down himself in slow-mo. That's hot. But I guarantee
Michele
you...
Morone. Oh my God.
Oh my
sorry.
God.
He's an exception, ladies. You can just look at him. He's just getting hotter and hotter. I don't know what the fuck is happening with him. But nevertheless, yeah.
But I guarantee you, there are certain things that men do that I am instantly so attracted to, like lighting an actual fire.
Not just your fire, but
An
actually a
actual
fire.
or
Changing a
changing
tire.
a car tire.
I knew that.
Or
Fixing the light bulb.
just like fixing shit around the house. If you're
Yeah.
a handyman,
yeah.
fucking call me. Right? If you're a social media influencer,
Don't
bye.
call me. Bye.
Boy, bye.
Ciao.
Call you. Don't call me.
I know. Actually,
But
don't
I'm
call
telling
me
you,
though.
I think-
DM me.
And I think this is something that a lot of women have, is this expectation of, oh, if my boyfriend doesn't have like the perfect social media like outlook, then my life sucks. It's really not. I think your relationship or just your mindset of a man who's so much more inclined to his primitive instincts will get you and your brain and all those hormones in your body like churning twice as fast. So I'd say step out of that social media revelation of setting up this expectation of what he might be like, because a picture doesn't define who he is. It doesn't.
Never judge a book by its cover, because
Absolutely.
in the day and age where social media is such a big thing, especially now, I really feel a man who can actually genuinely light a fire, and we're going back to what it used to be. I think it's really beautiful, and I've not met a man like that. I've not gone on a coffee date for so long. I've not been on an actual nice road trip with somebody I like. I've not done the things that actually matter. I mean, what the fuck is the point of meeting somebody who looks fabulous, but who just is not invested in you, right? Investing time and energy into a person. And while I am a superficial and shallow whore at this point in time, because I am into the looks for some fucking awkward reason, I know what it is. I mean, I broke up. I want to feel good.
No, but I'll tell you what it is, honestly. And
What
it's
is
a
it?
very like, you always date or upgrade up the chart.
Yeah.
When you sleep with a guy, and I want to ask Arwen's opinion on this too. When you sleep with a girl, when you sleep with a guy, the next person you sleep with in your head, or the next relationship you get into, they're always better
Level
looking
up.
than the previous one.
Level up. Yeah.
You level the
You
fuck
do
up.
level the fuck up on an outer. You want to show
And I
the
know
world
this
that
is
I'm not a
shallow
fucking
thing to say,
Yeah,
but you
don't.
do level the fuck up.
You do.
Everybody
you do.
fucking
Everybody
does that.
But then you realize you level up physically, like on a physical level, and then you go a little deeper and you're like, oh fuck, I leveled down. And then that's not cool, right? Because
Don't
at the
fucking
end
do
of
that.
the day, we're back to this. We talked about it in the last episode. You go on a rebound with a better looking guy or a girl. At the end of the day, it's only going to last as long. There has to be digging deeper. That man has to light your fire literally. And for that, that's a lot of work. And on a woman's side as well, I mean, I'm sure that, it's not just that he's looking, the guy who you like, it's not just you looking at him like, he also wants to look at you, be mature, be stable, be detoxed, be glowing like this without any makeup on. It's all happening because you've turned your life around as well. Like, give
But
yourself
I've turned
credit.
my life around because I realized that I'm an unhealthy person and I need to break out of my patterns. So
Yeah.
I don't think it really has anything to do
And
with
I'm
the
saying this
guy.
out. I want to do this because I really want to quit smoking
get
soon.
there.
And I'll
You'll
get
get
there.
there.
That's the only toxic habit that I have, and I want to stop that.
Next. Instant compatibility. When you see someone and you feel like there's an instant compatibility, sometimes you're in a rebound and you're feeling that. Sometimes you have not dated for a while and you feel this instant compatibility, which is what people called my other half or my better half.
After a breakup, you think that every person you see is your better half, and especially if they look half as good as what you imagine them in your head, or half as good as Michele Morone, you're definitely wanting to go in. That's instant compatibility, but fucking don't fall for it, because that's the That's just not the thing.
So
to do.
his name, fun fact actually, I have to tell you this like it's a fun story. For those who don't know about my like runaway Sri Lankan wedding.
Oh,
You know about
yes.
this, right? Let's not talk about the story though, okay?
I'm not telling
Do you know
anyone.
his name was also Mikkel?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we call him Mike, but his name is also Mikkel.
Mikkel, Michelle, whatever, Michael. If you're a Michael out there and you want to slide into my DMs, do it. If you look like Michelle Moroni,
I
do it.
know a Michael, and I don't think you want him to slide into your
No, I don't
DMs,
want
girl.
that Michael. I want any other Michael. It's okay.
Okay,
It's
never
fine.
mind. But
It's all right.
instant compatibility.
But why
so
would I not want him? What's wrong? No, but then I also his bro code. I
I'll
won't.
tell you later.
If he's married to you somewhere, even like a Vegas wedding or whatever, I will let him be yours.
So there's a study, okay, that is actually online that talks about like 6 surprising predictors of like relationship compatibility, right? And it says that many of us think we know which traits we want in our ideal partners. Yet for some reason, we often find ourselves attracted to people who possess none of those qualities.
Oh, dangle. That's
Attraction, however, may feel natural, but that doesn't mean it's random. So there's a study that talks about it, right? And I'm going to go through these points quickly. DNA, which is basically your genes, that is your
genetic
genetics,
makeup.
matter more than your genes. Your genetics matter more than your denims,
Yeah,
right?
denims, yeah.
And according to biotechnology research company Instant Chemistry, up to 40% of physical attraction is determined by your genes. We are biologically programmed to feel that instant spark with someone who has genetic makeup that is different from our own. And research shows that this genetically compatible partners are more likely to make it long term.
I totally agree with this because, I used to always wonder, I'm curvy, I'm unfit, and I'm cool with that. But I always fall for guys who are fitter. And I've never understood why it is. So it is basically the law of attraction towards the opposite, right?
Yeah.
You told me that you're always attracted to people who are like
Who are
a little...
very, very different from who I am.
Yeah. It is what it is because you don't want to be having another you, right? Because you want different. And I'm gonna quickly just add an extra point. I met a good friend of mine, Navid, the other day, and we were having a conversation about
Navid Qureshi.
Qureshi.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, I shot
yes.
the Tear the Shame campaign with him.
Yes, fabulous shout out. Lots of interesting stuff that he does in myths that he's breaking. But he was telling me that men do not want better. Men want different.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you are just like his ex, he's not going to like you.
No. Even if he's men, you don't get the line. Men want different. They don't want better. In the sense, they're not looking for a girl who's better than their current girlfriend. They just want somebody else. And it's not just men.
Absolutely,
I think it's
okay.
just people in general. They want variety. That's why Bumble and Hive and Thrive and whatever the fuck are the apps out there are thriving because people don't want to be in a single relationship anymore, like in the same relationship, right? So opposites attract, and yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. Next point. Facial features. The eyes and more have it.
It's always about the eyes.
It's always
baby.
about the eyes.
Oh my
It's
god!
always
How many
about-
times have I drowned these pools of somebody?
Oh my god! Like I could be so fucking pissed off at you, but you have good. You could be a complete bitch, but if you have good eyes, I'm a sucker.
I've
Fucked.
It's like this little reel that I watch. This girl is like, my boyfriend is a bloody dick. Oh,
at his
he's
eyes.
so cute.
I
Look
think
at
it's
his
the eyes. It's the eyes that is always really mind fucking ladies.
Yeah,
Don't
so
worry.
don't get drowned in those pools of
They have
I don't
psycho
know, liquid
eyes.
caramel, whatever the fuck it is. Because if you wanna move away, move away. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Number
Okay,
3.
Smell. Your perfect match might be under your nose, pretty much, right? So human odor preferences are shaped by sexual selections. And we are evolutionary inclined to be sensitive to odor cues, right? So people who have good pheromonal smell, and that depends on everything that you put into your body. Because body odor, also refers to the kind of shit that you're putting into your body.
And
that is-
also about hydrating yourself very often, drinking a lot of water. Even if you're eating right and you're not drinking enough water, you're not going to smell nice.
So-
And every person has a different smell. You know that, right?
Fun
you get used to
fact,
that smell.
a team of biologists from Czech Republic recently found that subjects who ate garlic, which is chock full of antioxidants, smell more attractive.
That's amazing. I mean, I would not like to kiss someone with garlic breath, but once it's inside, if you're going to be a whole lot more healthier, why not? I mean, yeah, it is important. I mean, I have hung out with people who've been eating better, and I feel that everything about them is better. I mean, their aura is better, and you just feel like being better around them. So I think,
Absolutely, yeah.
what you put in your body totally counts.
Language. What did you say? Right. I think I think we're very attracted to people who, and study actually shows this also, and I remember reading this the other day, is women or men in general are more attracted to the other person when they type in full sentences.
Oh, yes. People who type K, I hate
If
them.
I type K
The
means I'm pissed off.
Yeah, I'm pissed off or I don't reply. I think full
Okay.
sentences.
People
yeah.
who type, like when you type in
OKAY.
small or what, WHT.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
Or
Like, are you
WAT.
that lazy?
Yeah, can you not type that extra H? What the hell is that
Yeah,
about?
it's really annoying. So another thing is love language, and there's this website that I'll link you to. What is your language of love? So that way you'll know specifically what you are more inclined to as a person, and I think that'll help you on a personal level.
Right.
It really helped me. That's
Okay.
why.
What's your love
But
language like?
Quality time.
I don't
Right.
get that at all.
So no, you take the test. It's really good. In
Oh.
fact, I'll link it below so you guys can take it too. For
Oh,
those of you
nice.
who want to figure out your relationship dynamics here.
Okay.
So
So you can
it's
be single
very
and take this test as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's very important to speak each other's love language. For
Ah.
instance, say if your love language is physical touch, mine is quality time. I have to speak your language of love and you have to speak mine.
So both have to meet somewhere in the
That's
middle.
when it'll work.
I totally get this because in the last time that I liked someone, all I wanted was just that physical intimacy, hugging that person and sleeping, having sex or whatever.
Maybe your love language is physical touch.
And intimacy, right? But his love language was self-love, taking care of himself, figuring out what he wants. And we're both in completely different bubbles. And when we're in different bubbles like that, if we are not able to meet, then we should call it off, right?
Guys,
do we call it off or what happens when you have totally
try
different love
to
languages?
focus more on what the other person wants in a healthy way. It's very important to speak each other's love language. That's how you can work towards having a relationship move towards more of a successful level rather than getting into codependency or cohabitation.
So Zayn and Gigi
toxic-
had this problem, right? So Zayn is extremely private, likes to chill, and Gigi has like a model life. She's a supermodel, and for a long time they were on and off because their love languages, according to what you're saying, were different. Because she's like, like extremely like out there,
Yeah.
flamboyant, and he likes
Yeah.
it. But now they've figured out a way. They have a baby, their parents, and they have like the cutest baby ever. You can work on it, but then both of you have to work on it. It can't be one person trying
No,
for the
it's
other.
always 50-50.
Yes.
It's always 50-50. You have
You
to
have a
be
suggestion
open
of
to-
how you do it? Like how, maybe a tip on how two people's extremely different love languages can be aligned. For example, give me a solution. I'm someone who likes intimacy and, being around the person. I like that entire thing. But what if I'm attracted to somebody who's all about, say, self-love, space, and,
There's
figuring
nothing
out my
wrong
life?
with that.
How do
Then
you do
I
that?
think you
How do
should just
figure
look
it?
at, like, for me, for instance, if I have a partner who lives a much healthier lifestyle and I can see that he's got good habits or good just a healthy way of how he is.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong in learning that and implementing it on yourself. That kind of implementation and picking up on your partner's habits.
What
is fine.
happens to me? But I'm someone who needs that, that cuddling and that talking.
There's
and that
nothing wrong with
dating,
that. I think
extra-
you need to figure out with each, and I can't advise you on it because
But we have
I
to
haven't
work it out, if at all.
I haven't figured it out. In every relationship,
Should you look
is
at someone
different.
who leans more towards your love language?
You need someone to speak your language of love, and you need to speak their language of love. That's how you make
That's
it work.
how you make it work. Wow.
Next point.
Complicated shit.
Red is the new black. Red is the new black. So there's a reason why red is the color of love and passion, and research shows that both men and women perceive people wearing the color red as a strong, powerful, and dominant color. So here it actually says that for women, the color red enhances a man's attractiveness. If I saw a man in a red shirt, I'd fucking punch him. Color for me.
I saw a nice version of red, like a guy was wearing pants in the gym the other day, and I thought that was nice. I mean, it's okay as long as you can be subtle. The ruby woo, the color, on your lips, a red thong, maybe. I think red is generally the color of
And
love. It's
here
nice.
it says that men in another study gave higher tips to waitresses wearing red.
Interesting. I think men also pay attention to red because that's why women like the color pop. And I think it's nice to add a bunch of
So apparently red basically, like, as a color plays with your psychology, and it says that it sends like
Good vibrations.
signals to your erogenous areas, right?
Oh, nice.
So that improves strong blood flow and high testosterone level in men who often produce a reddish tone to their skin.
Oh,
The
nice.
color itself seems to be evolved as a sign of reproductive healthy and potential. That's saying if you wear red, you'll get pregnant.
But the only time that I hate red is on Valentine's Day when there's red fucking everywhere, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's too much of pheromones and testosterone and estrogen and baby making. I hate that day alone when there's too much red, but I think a hint of red every now and then is good.
Right. Next. It's not what you say, but how you say it.
It's all about the voice for me. I mean, if a person can't talk well, if they don't have a baritone, which is nice, and if, if it's not comfortable and easy, if they're not able to communicate what they want to, and the way they say it, when they say baby, there has to be a depth to it. Not just like, hey, baby, what's up? Baby. I fucking hate that. I like that.
I think it's kind of cute, though. I mean, but
What?
like women in general.
How is it cute if someone says, baby, where are you?
Women in general, I feel like, are swoon over men with lower pitched voices, because I think we associate men with like deeper baritones, whereas I think with men they associate us with like higher baritones.
Growing up in Chennai, I had this huge like fascination for men with deep voices, thanks to radio at that point in time, only hiring men with these deep baritones, like say Niladri, Morpheus, a whole bunch of people in Chennai, and then Nikhil Chanappa, so many people who started those years of radio. That deep baritone does something. I mean, Amitabh Bachchan, look at that voice. I mean, that gravity. Somebody recently, someone who's been doing this a lot. What's his name? Henry Cavill. What a voice. I mean, he's been doing what a voice. Like that depth, that gravity. It just is so beautiful. I think it's nice. Baritones are nice.
Archer has a really
lovely.
sexy voice.
Yeah,
to be honest.
he has a lot of sarcasm and humor and wit, and I think that makes a man quite attractive, honestly.
You know what's annoying though is when men do that baby voice, like the.
But we do it a lot.
Shut the fuck up! My vagina is so dry right now because you're talking to me in that cute baby voice. It's not cute. It's not attractive.
My vagina is wet only when you're like, "Hey, baby." What's
The
up?
deeper your baritone, the wetter my cunt. Otherwise,
Go deep, Arwen. We want to try it. Hi, Arwen.
Daddy's back in the studio with us.
Exactly. That's nice. I mean, we just love men with baritones, and it's nice. Where's the singing voice, like actual voice? Just bass it up, baby. Don't over bass it just to like make the person whatever, but just ground yourself. It's good. It's nice.
Absolutely. Jane should be get unfiltered.
Absolutely, but before we get unfiltered, we did not talk about the one thing that we said. We promised everybody. Why the fuck did you delete your gram?
I'll tell you at the end of the episode.
End of the episode. Okay, let's get unfiltered. Question
tell you
number
the end
one.
of the
What's our
episode.
question number one? What are we talking
We're
about?
talking about the unfiltered
Aspect.
episode, okay?
Okay.
Guys, we love the fact that you let us talk utter shit and you support it. And sometimes you take our tips and our tricks and you use them and you write back to us and you tell us, hey, this fucking worked. You've gotten that feedback. I've gotten that feedback.
Always.
It's fucking great. But you know what? We're gonna get down and dirty,
dirty.
because we know that's what the fuck you want.
Absolutely,
we know that's
man.
what the fuck you're
Why do
fucking
you have
waiting
to,
for.
open another Cosmo magazine and look at a fabricated question? Here are real
just
questions,
turn on your
real
YouTube or your
answers.
Spotify and
Yeah.
we're talking about some real fucking shit here, okay?
Yeah.
Blowjobs on circumcised and uncircumcised dicks. For you uneducated whores out there, a circumcised dick is when he's missing foreskin.
And
And an uncircumcised dick is
it's when it's on and you can go up and down, baby. Promo material on.
So Jane is more for uncircumcised dicks and I'm more for circumcised dicks, right?
Yeah.
And
I like uncircumcised dicks.
for a fact, if you are a woman out there or if you're a guy out there that is gay and likes to suck dick, everybody likes to suck dick. Those who don't like how to suck dick don't know how to suck dick, right? And that's the fucking
They
truth
just suck.
about it.
If you don't know how to suck dick, you suck. Or if you don't want to
Yeah.
suck dick.
And it's always a giveaway. If you don't suck dick, don't expect any fucking head yourself. Kill your fucking self, right? It's fucking horrible that way. But this is the thing, right? Is that there's a different way to suck a circumcised dick and there's a different way to suck an uncircumcised dick, for a fact. You want to give a tip?
All I want to say is when it's uncircumcised, something about it is just so raw. We were talking about primitive instincts. It's raw, it's real, it's friction, it's amazing. My tip is stay down there as long as possible. Your man is never going to want to leave you unless he's an asshole with a girlfriend who's just fucking you behind her back. Other than that,
Damn.
yeah. That's my tip.
Damn.
Just be there, down there. I think it's the most beautiful thing to give, to be a giver. I'm a giver. I have friends who are givers. You're a giver. I think just being a giver is a good thing. Yeah, that's my
Absolutely.
big tip. Be down there.
My biggest
long time.
tip to people who are getting involved with uncircumcised or with circumcised dicks in general is, right, your head is a lot less sensitive in a lot of ways, for a fact, because you don't have foreskin, right? So I'd say put the whole dick in your mouth, and with your tongue, you'll find a little bulge at the bottom. With your tongue, just keep applying pressure to that bulge.
That's
And
about
I
it.
fucking guarantee you, it'll make him fucking squirm.
I think a girl just down there on a guy for so long is just going to make him happy enough. And I think if you do it and you do it like that, whether it's the bulge or whether it's the skin up and down, whatever the way it is, just keep doing it. That's the one way that it goes on and on and on. So yeah, just more for blowjobs. Big.
Blowjobs are awesome.
That's your tip for keeping the tip. That's your tip for keeping the tip happy. Now let's go.
Yeah. That's your tip for the tip.
Yeah.
For a fact, right?
Yeah.
Now, everyone in this room, and be fucking honest, okay? Raise your hand if you have ever faked an orgasm.
I don't think a guy can fake an orgasm, but yeah, a guy can't fake an orgasm.
men who have.
Yeah, how the fuck? What do they put? They put lotion there and say, "Baby, aa gaya."
No, they just lie.
Why?
And say
Don't
they
they-
fired blanks or something. I don't know.
Anyway, so women fake orgasms all the time. I
All
didn't-
the time.
No,
because
but
y'all are doing it wrong.
No, I'd have never done it when I was in a relationship because my man knew how to do it. But then I'm saying now I'm single, so yeah.
In
Gotta fake
so
it
many
till I make it.
relationships, and I'm being honest about this because I don't give a fuck anymore.
You faked it? In a
Oh,
relationship?
so many relationships. I have just faked orgasm after orgasm after orgasm. Because let's face it, I'm bored.
And you're just like, fuck it, let's get on. I need to change the light bulb now. I need to go.
Fun fact, one time fell asleep in doggy because I was so
Dude,
bored.
that's an oxymoron. Fell asleep in doggy. How the fuck did you?
I was
he that
so-
bad?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is.
I was
Okay.
so bored. I fell asleep.
I've never got bored in
And
doggy.
I was
but-
like snoring. It was like, yeah, I was like, that was amazing.
I just came, but I also slept. It was
Yeah.
alarm on. But yeah, I would say, I mean, I don't fake it because as much, unless it's someone new and I don't know what the fuck to do. And then, yeah, I do that. But otherwise, I believe in all my relationships, I've been a happy woman. Especially in my
Absolutely.
last one. It's good.
Faking orgasms is a very, very common thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that I've done it. But
I'm not sorry I did it because I went on and just did
no,
other things in my life.
I'm truly sorry that I like for faked orgasms at a point. I don't anymore, but it's super important. And I say this to all the girls out there because women fake orgasms more than men fake orgasms in general. Men are always open to learning what you can and cannot
Not
do.
all men. There are some dicks out there who just want to come.
Oh,
and
fuck him, then leave him and fuck someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
But nice men.
Nice men, let's say all the
Yeah.
good men, the good people that we know and don't know also, but there's nothing wrong with teaching a man exactly what you like and exactly
if you
what you
don't know
want.
what you like, this is my pro tip to everybody who's been faking it. Please understand your body. Please understand how it is that you come, what it is that makes you come. Somebody was talking to me about a double finger technique or whatever the fuck it is. Figure it out yourself because you can't teach a man unless you've taught yourself. So be self-taught first.
I've given some great like fingering orgasming tips in episode number 9 season 1,
Go check it out.
which was early nutting and sugar daddies. But check it out. But honestly, women, like I'll tell you out there, please don't be ashamed to tell your guy what he can and cannot do. I know it's a little nerve-wracking. I know you're a little shy to express yourself out there. And it is difficult to talk about.
Even if you're on a Bumble date and it's a one night stand, you're hooking up, please communicate your needs because you're going there for a purpose and that person's coming there for a purpose. Even if you don't have history, you can't be the one going out faking it and he's made it and he's done it and he's
Absolutely.
over. So just talk about these things is very important. If a guy can't satisfy you, fuck him over and leave. Yeah.
Tell him, I know it's awkward, but I guarantee you it's 5 minutes of that awkwardness. And after that, it's just great sex.
Yeah,
So
and
what
after that,
would you be?
once you figure it out, I mean, you could even mutually orgasm together. I mean, it's just a question of you talking about it and figuring out a way around it.
Absolutely. Moving on.
Moving on.
We have to talk about something fun here.
Oh, this is really fun. I wish we left this for the next episode because I would have been a great bait for them to come back and kickstart episode 3.
No, that's episode 3 will be better than this one for sure.
It always is. It only gets better with them.
Ladies. And a bunch of guys who don't know what queefing is.
Oh.
Majority of us women, we queef. I'm a queefer. She's
I'm
a
a
fucking
queefer.
queefer,
I
right?
mean,
and
it
it's
happens.
not that we're farty from our. It's just air that goes into your vaginal
Okay,
area.
before anything else, for everybody else, P will tell you what is queefing because many people don't know. Seriously, I didn't know until
That's
some
what
time
I'm
back.
telling them basically.
Go ahead, tell
so
them.
Queefing is basically when air goes into your vaginal area based on someone putting their dick or their fingers into you at that point, right? Because the space is tight. Unless you a hoe and got a wide set vagina, then you ain't a queefer. But if you've got like a tight pussy in general,
If you got a tight ass pussy, then
exactly.
yeah, that happens.
It's very common. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Literally 90% of women around the world everywhere queef. I'm a queefer, she's
It's
a queefer, your
basically
mom's a
pussy
queefer.
fart, yeah, where you, because of the friction that happens, that's the only reason
absolutely.
why.
It's the guy's fault. It's not your fault.
Yeah, you don't have to be like embarrassed every time it happens. You don't have to be like, oh shit, I farted, and you don't know what to do. It's just the friction, and especially I feel people queef more when you're in doggy. I feel that because you're in this weird position, and it's
Really?
just
I queef more on my back.
yeah, whichever. There's different positions you might queef in, so don't judge your woman based on
Don't
her
worry
pussy
about
farts.
it. If
Yeah,
you're
don't-
worried about
yeah.
it, just like put your finger and
No,
then
I have
get it
this
out.
theory
It's
that
just
if you
like
really want to be with somebody, you should be able to queef and fart in front of them.
I'm just really I have a fun story here. Okay.
You farted in front of someone, didn't you?
So
While doing it.
I was getting laid the other day,
Right.
right? And
You're getting so laid and so happy.
I was thinking, so are you, dude. Okay, I was getting laid the other day, and
I've
this
not
is the
been.
thing, right? I thought I wanted to queef because I could feel like this air pocket in my vagina, and I was like, okay, I gotta queef it out because I really, really gotta queef it out, right? Because it was after a while, like the edge, it hurts. It hurts like your cervix and your utral area. It does hurt. So I was trying to put some pressure,
And you farted, right?
and I farted so fucking loudly.
Was it a smelly fart or loud
No,
fart?
it was
It's
just a loud
fart.
ass.
Did it turn him
fart.
off? Did he like...
No, he couldn't stop laughing. He was like, "Oh my god!"
So was he
you-
laughing and fucking you after that?
We continued. It's not like he stopped and was like disgusted or whatever.
That's
but I
really
think that's
cute.
just
I
men
think
who
it's
understand
nice.
that it's
It's
normal.
only men who understand. Please, men, normalize queefing and farting. It's okay if you fart. It's
He's
okay.
never let me forget it.
For the rest of your life, you're going to be like, bitch, you farted when you were like
You
fucking
farted on my
me."
dick, P. There's no forgiving. And I, for one, am so weirded
You know what is
out.
that called? It's called an air job. Okay.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying, like,
This has got to go on another T-shirt. Air jobs
air jobs
for the
Do it.
21st century.
If you can air job your man and he's okay with it and he continues, that means he's your man.
I am generally the kind of person who's really uncomfortable talking about bathroom habits. I don't pee in front of a boyfriend. I don't pee with the door open. I don't poop in front of a boyfriend. I don't announce when
can't-
I'm
I
going to
can't
poop.
poop.
I'm just really awkward
My
about it.
Spotify is on. It's as loud. The taps
The
are
taps
on.
are on.
Oh,
Oh, like that.
fuck,
Exactly.
I can't.
Giving, don't leave me hanging.
I just
can't. I can't. And it's the thing. And the thing is, like, I end up dating men who just like don't give a fuck, and they just open the doors and they
But my
want to.
previous relationship, I made an exception and he was cool with it. And that's why I thought he was the man of my life and he still could be the man of my life. Girlfriend, if you're watching, bitch, he'll always love me. Continue.
Fucking yes. Hell to the fucking yes.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you just said that. Fucking love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but it happens a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
And guys, I think the best way to be in a healthier relationship in general, and I think that's what we should call this episode, is how to be in a healthy relationship. The guidebook to like the dummies guidebook to being in a healthy relationship is you have to be super comfortable in front of each other in general. Okay. So the other day is another fun story I just want to get into quickly is our man Vic the other day.
Right.
right?
At the Hubb.
At the Hubb is sitting, and we have
Who's
this
a cutie and is single, by the way.
yeah, we have this chair in the a chair in the other studio that is shaped like a potty. It's shaped like a toilet, right? And Vic all of a sudden I bring up this question and I'm like, guys, how often do you like pee or whatever in front of your partners, right? And Vic says the most disgusting thing ever, right? And they do this thing to me where they'll keep talking about bathroom habits because they know it makes me uncomfortable. He's like, you know what I prefer? When she sits back with her legs spread and I can just pee right there. So both
Oh
peeing
my
together.
God, are you serious? Oh, that is... Okay, that's a very gross...
And you know what his problem is? He's like, getting the aim right is the problem. I'm like, oh, it's not the
You know,
fact
but
that I
you
think
know,
you're fucked up.
What
for saying
the
what
fuck
you
is
said.
that? Like, she's there, he's peeing, and with thighs as thick as mine, there is no fucking way he's gonna get aim. He's gonna pee all over
Arwen's
me.
again going to fall
It's
off
gonna
the
be
chair.
a fucking pee job. Vic, you and I can never date, clearly.
This is like people who went to the golden shower.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. The
fucking do
golden
it.
shower thing is another yuck
For
thing.
another
I wouldn't
day,
do it.
for
Yeah.
another day. Last
Have you ever
thing.
tried that position? I mean, not to have sex.
I
in
can't
it.
piss in front of someone. I can't piss in front of my girlfriend. You expect me to pee in front of like other
And that too,
people.
while he's right there and you pee.
Yeah,
and he
it's just it's
pees.
not for me. I don't know how people.
How do
fucking
they
it.
even get both the waterfalls to merge?
I
and
don't
go
fucking
down?
want to know. Only.
That disgusts you, right?
It disgusts
Unison
me.
of
I can
peas.
listen to you talking about docking for hours. I can't talk about like pissing and
Docking.
pooping.
Oh my
and
God, all you gay boys out there, we're gonna get a gay boy on the episode very
Ask him
soon.
if he fucking dog.
I'm sure, because docking, she explained that it's just it's very hot. I'm straight as fuck, but I think docking is hot.
We're
Alright.
done. We're done. We're not gonna talk
Yeah,
about
like
docking.
look at her. I mean, I think bathroom habits really turn her off. She's coughed. She's looked away from the mic. Her mic is dropped. Literally everything has gone down.
I'm just not like it's
Yeah.
not for me.
I
I'm
think
just very weird about it.
No, it's okay. I mean, I know a friend of mine, she's so weird. We're in the same house. She's so awkward that if I don't turn off the light, she's that OCD about bathroom habits. If I don't turn off the lights and I get out, she gets up and goes and switches off the lights. So you're totally fine. It's okay to have this sort of an OCD. But yeah, until then, turn on your Spotify, turn on the tabs and take a fucking golden dump if you care without the other person knowing. It's so nice. It's your private space. You read in the bathroom
Okay,
if you
I'm
want.
done. I can't talk about this anymore.
Okay, let's talk about the next thing. What are we talking about? Queefing, farting, and...
We should get on to something fun now. It's called mutual ejaculation.
I have a tip.
Go for it.
So I think if you have to both come at the same time, first of all, I know it sounds like a fucking Mills and Boons classic novel,
No,
but
if it
unless...
happens, he's a keeper. Keep him.
Yeah, if it happens, if you're both able to come together at the same time, first of all, it takes time to get there. But whenever it's happened to me, I have always, and it sounds so ridiculously, outrageously romantic, but only if I'm really into the person, can I look into their eyes and it's happened. We've come together, but it requires an intense level of emotional commitment.
There's a high. You have to be more emotionally connected
Yeah.
and more soul bonded.
Yeah.
In a great way to have a mutual ejaculation that is coming at the same
And
time.
then
It cannot happen.
This
If
is
having
the
a
pro
one-night
tip.
stand, it doesn't happen.
If you use your hands and hold your hand with the person and look into the person's eyes, it's the
And if
time when
you
you're
touch
allowed. You touch the forehead, you look into the person, you hold hands, and then you clench together. It's a very, very interesting
it's a
way of
very
getting
like
there.
spiritual experience
It is.
also. I guarantee
Sex
your
is
life will
spiritual,
change.
isn't it?
In a lot of ways, yeah.
If we're a religious country with 1.3 billion people, we talk about religion, we don't talk about sex. What the fuck is with that? That's why the
another
Misbehaved
podcast for another day. Political agendas behind relationships conferred with religion. That's something we should really talk about later, though.
Yeah.
But I think this brings us pretty much to the base of it. Get into questions, and then, of course, the story as to why I quit my social media. But
Yeah, but the questions,
Questions.
I don't
We
know.
have
Do
one
a question. Oh,
question.
yeah, we have one question.
we decided to take this episode and dedicate it specifically to Arwen's beautiful questions. And you know what, guys, you have to send us an answer for what you also think at that point, regardless to this, if you're a woman or you're a guy and you relate very strongly to this question.
This is a question that's
Please
totally off the beat.
DM us right fucking now.
Yeah, absolutely. On to the Misbehaved podcast
Jane,
Instagram
what
handle.
is the question?
The question is, why do women love to wear panties with flowers on it? And I had the most ridiculous answer, which is stupid. I said because it's all about deflowering your virginity, your pussy is like a flower, and that's why women like flowers, and we just generally like
I think
flowers.
flowers is just related to elegance in general, right?
To
And a
women.
lot of like lace have like flower patterns
Yes,
on them in
yes.
general. So I don't think it's like, I don't think there's any reason to it.
But then Arvin's reason is
What
just
is
the
your
best.
answer? You
Arvin,
tell
I
your
think you should
answer.
come into the mic and give your answer
No,
because
tell us-
this
tell
is your
us from
joke.
there.
Or tell us from then, we'll repeat it. Why do women wear panties with flowers on it?
In memory of all the heads buried down there.
In memory of all the heads
Damn
buried
fucking
down
right.
there. In memory of all the heads buried down there. That was so deep. I don't know where he thought about it. Were you Spotify on and taking a dump when you thought of this? Like alone? Or were you Archimedes who came up with this joke?
Eureka, Eureka, Eureka!
Light bulb on.
Just imagine you're sitting on the potty like Arwen and you're like, why do women have like flowers on their face?
Underwear. He actually did that. He was sitting on the potty and he was thinking about why women have underwear that has so many flowers.
That has flowers in them, right? But
Potty time is wisdom.
potty
I
time
know.
is wisdom. I
It
can't
always
talk about
is.
potty anymore. Please, guys.
Pri wants to take a dump after this.
No,
She's
I
like,
need to pee very badly. I'm just holding on.
P wants to pee.
But okay, I'm gonna quickly tell you the story, okay, as to why I deleted I didn't delete it, I deactivated my social media, right? So basically, if you guys know, sometimes a lot of girls get this, they get a lot of like DMs from different guys who like say things. And I'm telling you very honestly, some of the shit we get is so derogatory, like impolite. It's and I can't say, I have a thick skin towards a lot of things in my life.
I had a
but
recent DM that said your thighs are nice. Somebody just DM'd randomly.
You?
Yeah, someone
nice.
randomly DM'd me. Thighs are nice just because it rhymes.
eyes or thighs.
I don't know, whatever the fuck.
The new ass and boobs is eyes or thighs.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, I was getting a lot of DMs, and sometimes I gotta say that like just staying off social media is so much better for my mental health. And as much as I'm very thick-skinned to a lot of shit people say, I can't pretend like words don't hurt. Sometimes they really do, right? Especially when it comes to like your safety or who you are and what you're trying to protect in general. So basically, what happened is that I was at one of my DMs, I don't read a lot of the shit that you people send me sometimes, and I'm very sorry because sometimes I get like 200, 300 DMs, and I'm not like the kind of person who's always on her phone. So there's a good chance I miss a lot of stuff. I miss like brand collaborations. I miss like people who are offering me work a lot of the times. And I'm sorry, I'll try to be better at it. But basically what happened is that there was this incident that happened where this guy was messaging me apparently and saying, commenting on my pictures because I had a public account and saying nice things. And then when I wouldn't reply to him and he was like, oh, can we be friends? Can we be friends?
He got
started
aggressive?
to abuse me and get aggressive and get really annoyed.
Say
and,
what a
and
bitch
said,
and shit like
yeah,
that?
like I'm gonna not use the words that he used because I don't think anyone should have to hear it. But he said some very derogatory things, right?
And you had no idea because you had not checked his DMs?
No, I hadn't seen it.
So
right?
he had a one-way equation with you
Let me
online.
tell the story, pretty much. So it was a one-way thing where he pretty much said that this is what was happening. Now, one day I was at Bob's bar and I was waiting for a friend of mine to show up. And he was taking around 20 minutes because he was late. And this random person is sitting next to me on this, we're sitting inside. For those of you who know Bob's, we're sitting inside on the ground floor, right, in Indranagar. And there's a wall between us. And he says, hey, can I borrow that chair? We're sitting on a 4-seater. So I said, yeah, sure, you can have the chair. So he takes the chair. In the next 2 minutes, he's like, why don't you join us for a drink, right? At that point, I think, okay, maybe he's just being polite. And I'm like, no, thank you very much. I'm not the kind of person who'll be rude to you in general. So I said, no, thank you very much. Then after 2 minutes, he offers me a cigarette and he's like,
Wanna
here,
smoke?
why don't you have a smoke, right? And I was like, thanks, but I don't smoke at that point, right? And then my friend walks in. He's like, okay, P, let's go sit upstairs. So we get up and we leave and we go sit upstairs, right? 2-3 days later, I open my Instagram in that DM section, in the restricted DM section, and I see
The same
a
boy.
person's messages. This dude has been messaging me for 2 years.
How the fuck did he know where you were? though?
And
That's
the
weird.
worst part was that this is what I think. It's so scary because I'm so oblivious to shit sometimes. Is he's taking his phone and from the bottom, I haven't noticed, but he's clicking pictures of me and he sent it to me on that chat, right? And of course, it shows image revealed or unrevealed, and most of the times I don't even open it because it's a fucking dick pic or some sleazy crap that's there, right? Or one of those like, oh, good morning, or like those festival
But this
wishes or
boy
whatever.
is someone you had seen, so obviously you want to know what
yeah,
the
and
fuck
it's
is he
fucking
sending.
scary, right? At that point, I'm like, okay.
Social
His
media
face
is a
seems
scary
familiar
place.
because I saw it and I'm like, this seems really
Put
familiar.
a story that you're at some place and somebody's been stalking you and ends
and
up there.
I didn't
That's
even
scary
put up
as
a
fuck.
story. I don't even post where I go.
So how the
90%
fuck
of
did
the
he
time.
know?
I don't know. Maybe it was just a coincidence, right?
Coincidence.
And then below that, he sends me a message telling me what a cocky piece of shit I am and how I deserve to be.
Is this why you're off social
dash,
media?
dash, dash. I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, this is not healthy for me on a grave level because people know where I am and I don't need that.
It's crazy because
And it sucks because everyone's thing is, oh, why the fuck do you have a public account then? Why do you have a public account? I need my public account for my work. For people who work through social media or social media managers or
it's
digital
an extreme
marketers,
thin line, right? Because
you need your social
you
media
have
for
to.
your
I mean,
work.
I need my social media for all of my work,
It's
and I
how
put
we
out a
make
lot
bank.
of exactly. It's how we like really make our money. But then if somebody is going to be stalking us and finding out where we are and then coming in and taking pictures, that is scary as fuck.
It's a fucking nightmare. So guys in general, and I say this to a lot of girls out there also, I'm sure I'm not the only one this happens to.
It happens to a lot. It's
I'm
not
sure
happened
it's
to me
happened
yet.
to a lot of people.
It's not
and
happened to me yet. I've had people who've come sweetly and said, "We know you from here. We saw your social media
Yeah,
post."
and it's cute.
The
when
other day, I
people
was
do
actually
that.
at a mall where I shoot at often, and somebody came and told me, "Hello, we saw your stories. We came to say hi." I took a picture with them. It was a family. It was really cool. And then there's another guy who texted me saying he wants to just, generally come and say hello. I said, "Please come and say hello." But there is a very thin line of when a stalker could become an asshole, like what happened with you. And this has happened to so many
And
people.
this is not like I fucked with him or done anything to him. This is just an
Yeah, it's
ego
just a
driven
random,
bitch
I
boy
get
who
it.
can't take the fact
But
that
is
I don't
he
wanna talk to
worthy
him.
enough of you going off the gram? Okay, maybe for a bit.
I personally feel like just for my peace of mind, I don't need. And I do have an Instagram profile. I have a private profile which has like 130 people on it tops. And I keep things there super restricted, and I like it like that. For once in my life, I'm enjoying.
I think most people, not just you, have Finsta accounts, which is it's not Finsta, but they have their own private profiles, which they are very like only have their friends and family, or not family, but their closest circle on
which
it. It's
I
a good
think
idea.
is very important, especially if
But
you're a
then
girl.
you shouldn't, like, I know that you work really hard on what you do and you're in a job where you're constantly about brands and collabs and you got to be out there as well. I really wish there was a solution to this in which you could be on the gram, but at the same time you don't have to have
really
creeps.
isn't. You either be 100% private or you be 100% public. You can't stop people from following you places.
Yeah, you can't.
And I don't know. I don't think this person followed me. I think it was just very random. It happened. It can happen to anybody.
Yeah, but then it put you off, and that's why you're off it. And
because I think sometimes, like, and this is what people don't know. It's because people like you and I run a podcast and we're so open about things. People don't know the level of social anxiety we have. in general.
they all think just
especially
because
what
we
I
talk,
have.
I'm gonna call this out straight. Just because just because they know we have a podcast which is on adulting and sex, they think, oh, these
Doesn't
girls
mean we're
talk about
easy.
sex. Of course
Doesn't
not,
mean
man.
we're easy
I
women.
mean, if we want it, we'll go get it. But the point is that we have models, and the reason why we're talking about all of this is because we're a country with fucking 1.3 billion people, and no one talks about sex, adulting, relationships. They don't talk about it. It's high time people talked about these things because this is happening.
The only way to sustain it is to normalize it.
Absolutely. Normalize the fuck out of sex. Normalize the fuck out of fucking. Normalize the fuck out of how you can have a social media account and still be, private about your life. Like I'm telling you this from my heart. Yes, I'm always on my phone. Yes, I have a very active social media account. Yes, I had a reel that went viral recently and I have way more followers because of that. But the point is, I really value my private life and I really value my own like growth of spirit and soul, which is why I wanted to run away from this country and actually start fresh and maybe not even do radio or podcasting, do something completely different. I might do that in the future. I don't know where I'm going to grow and evolve. But the point is, I've reached a stage in my life because I'm in my 30s where I want to actually go home to a man. Eventually, I want to build a family. I want to, build my interests. I love to read and write. And
What
I think
you
we all
see on the gram is not. It's
Who
a
you
part
are.
of who we are. It's a part of our personalities.
it's not us.
But it's not. It's not saying we're fake people.
Yeah.
It's a persona we continue
it's a
to
facet
maintain.
of our personality.
Exactly. And I do everything I post on my gram is things I do.
Yeah.
And
I
things
mean, just
you do.
because Sunny Leone is a porn star doesn't
Means
make
she's
her,
not a person.
you know, a person of that's something she did. And I mean, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful. I met her, she's principled, she's a man, you know, she loves or whatever. So I mean, don't judge somebody based on what their social media is or their public profile is, and fucking get back on the gram. That's all I
I
gotta
will
say.
eventually. When I feel healthier about it, I'll come back eventually.
Promote the podcast.
But thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in this week once again. Happy fucking Thursday to you. We will be back again next week with more content and more
Absolutely.
misbehaved things.
And
till
lots
then.
of guests, and big shout out to the Hubb for giving us the studio. Big shout out to Arwen for dedicating his holiday for us. Thank you very much. We appreciate it to come back onto season 2. We genuinely appreciate it, even though I've not spoken to you in the interim. You know, this is just the most amazing thing for your support.
We're very grateful. I think we've had
Extremely.
people on our team who have constantly gone above and beyond making this podcast a priority. And if we don't
Absolutely.
say it enough, like we are
Absolutely.
super grateful.
Shout out to Miss P, to Arwen for making this happen, because honestly I wasn't sure if I was going to be part of season 2. We just missed Az, but we're back, bitches, and we're back for good. And this season is going to be fucking crazy. We love you. You want to DM us? Please DM us on the Misbehaved Podcast Instagram page. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Follow us
Like,
there.
share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends.
Absolutely. And ask us your questions, you know, however dirty they are, uncircumcised or circumcised dicks. That was
Doesn't
interesting.
matter.
It doesn't matter. Just
fucking
talk about
matter,
it. I
okay?
mean, how often do you need to shave your pussy? Yeah, I think I want to ask you this in the next episode. But yeah, that's about it. The
Peace out,
Hub.
guys.
Peace out.